Now, our last but not the least of the speakers is another IT icon. He's an IT icon in the country, most especially in the southern Philippines, Mindanao. To those of you who are from Mindanao, welcome. Some on the IT and EC professionals in the country even jokingly say that if you don't know this speaker, if you don't know him, then perhaps you are not legit. So he finished his BS in Electronics Engineering, Computer Information Technology, Administration, and Management at Mindanao University of Science and Technology. He was the Director of Information and Communications Technology, or ICT, Division of the Mindanao University of Science and Technology for around 2 decades. Well, that says it all. But wait, there's more. He helped in developing IT solutions to many local government units in the country, including his home city, Cagayan de Oro, and also helped develop programs for the events and organizations of many professional organizations in the Philippines. Currently, he is the Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration and Associate Professor 3 of the University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines, Cagayan de Oro Campus. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Engineer Alex Maureal.
Thank you, Sir Jerome, for that kind introduction. And good morning and good afternoon. By the way, I'll be discussing, Sir Jules, a while ago, discussed the positive effect of the pandemic. Please allow me to discuss a little bit of the negative impact of the pandemic to discuss the opportunities of IT, that IT will here to stay. Okay, and eventually half of the discussion of my discussion will be focusing on our experience as a government institution during the pandemic, how we proceed with our operations. So it could help also the attendees here, the students, and those who are working in the government agencies. So I'll be discussing, to start with, according to Johns Hopkins University official website, as of August 31, 2021, the total number of cases of COVID-19 worldwide is about 217 million, with a total death of more than 4.5 million. So this pandemic has not only affected the health and well-being of people, but of course also affected and still affecting the economic conditions of the countries worldwide. So undoubtedly, some of the industries heavily affected are those that rely on personal interactions, or those in the travel industry, associated industries like hotels, food and beverage, even in the local setting, a lot of local businesses closed due to this pandemic. And a cascading effect of the pandemic to tourism. It also impacted a lot of businesses. And of course, the death for about 4.5 million. No? It's not, particularly we are having this Delta variant right now in the country. So COVID-19 has definitely disrupted the normal way of people's lives. The travel ban, the restrictions are implemented by each countries, of course, to protect their borders, thus making travel so very inconvenient nowadays. So there has been a lot of, we used to have a vacation, but now no more because of this pandemic. However, despite of the difficulties brought by the pandemic or COVID-19, one industry rose up to the challenge. And this industry has proven time and time again that this industry is here to stay and will continue to be in existence in the devastating time of facing COVID-19 and beyond. So this industry is no other than the IT industry. In fact, this industry is exempted, or they are considered in the Philippines, the IETF considered as as an essential industry. So they are exempted for the restrictions so that they can still operate. And if you can notice, if one door closes, another door opens. It's true because the opportunities in information technology right now, uh, we have a lot of these uh, meetings. No, the disruption of our normal world brought by pandemic impacted every activity that there is or we have before, and we're already accustomed to these online meetings and other like online church meetings, the telemedicine, the online education. Okay, so as discussed by Sir Jules a while ago, that for example, Zoom. So it's not just that spike no of the financial um, gains of the Zoom because of this pandemic, because everybody knows how to use Zoom or other platform for this during this pandemic. So you see, there are a lot of opportunities in information technology while we are having this pandemic and beyond. What I am trying to say is that I would like to review some of these numbers or surveys. For example, this survey, the total number of billionaires, no, billionaires and self-made billionaires. This data is as of August 25, 2021. The Forbes listed around 2,755 billionaires worldwide, which is 660 more than the list a year ago. Of this number, 2,755 billionaires, 1,975 of them are self-made. And out of the 1,975 billionaires, 10 billionaires occupy in the first 30 places. The first 10 spots are occupied by 7 billionaires belonging to the information technology sector. So you see, so there's a data show that the technology is industry is, although it's disrupted, however, it it tells a lot that this industry is a promising industry. Okay, so just try to look at this number. No? This is a comparison of net worth of the top 3 tech giants. As you can see in the number, okay, we have this performance of net worth for the last 3 years of this top 3 tech giants. For example, Jeff Bezos, we have this 131 billion in 2019. It shows that during the 2020, it also impacted this sector, the information technology. Okay, um, from 131 to 113, 96 to 98, 62 to 54. So in the onset of the pandemic, these tech giants are also affected. However, as you can notice, we are still in 2021 in the second quarter. We're in the third quarter, I mean. But as you can see, 56% increase no, based on the net worth of Jeff Bezos way back 2020, and around 26% increase, and another around 40 plus percent increase of net worth. So this means that the information technology sector, this sector has a potential, and based on this projection, no, as you can see in the slide, this projection, okay, as you can see that the projection is steady around annual compounded growth rate of around 5.4%, as you can see, 5.4% for the IT services market or for the information technology. So, of course, we can say that the IT is here to stay for this pandemic and beyond. Okay, now in the Philippine setting, the government supported these IT innovations. That is why we have this RA 11337 or the Philippine Startup Act, just to provide incentives to the startups, particularly in IT, in e-commerce, and the government spended money so to support these startups. For example, we have this a lot of startup incubators. It may be owned by private or a government incubator. In our university, we also have one, the CDO Bytes. This is a technology business incubator that helps our startups in the city of Cagayan de Oro, okay, to grow. So we have a lot of vehicles right now. We have policy, we have laws that supports the startups, the IT innovations. In fact, we have just supported and help our one of our startups develop the QCon. That's a video conferencing tool, just like Zoom and WebEx. So that's a locally developed, and it's now gaining popularity. And that is the reason why our CDO Bytes created to help these startup companies in IT. Now, if we can try to look at this number, the ranking of the Philippines, ranked 53rd across the globe with Startup Link now based on this survey. So it really shows that this data that really the government is spending and investing so much in helping the startups, particularly in the IT sector. So the effort of the government is not in vain, as this data shows that the results of surveys and researches by Startup Link, that Philippines is already in the 53rd, ranked 53rd, okay, in the startup industry, particularly in IT. Now, half of my presentation I'll be discussing in the IT innovations during the pandemic, the USTP experience. Just to give you an uh, overview about or background about USTP. USTP is a government university. It is owned by the government. So a simple profile of USTP, we are just 5 years old, just a week ago, because USTP is amalgamation of MUST before and Muscat. MUST is located in Cagayan de Oro. It focuses in engineering and technology, while Muscat is in agriculture. So by virtue of the Republic Act 10919, USTP was born. That was last July 21 of 2016. So USTP is located somewhere south of the Philippines. Okay, we have actually three major campuses, but right now we're still building the major campus. That's the Alubihid campus near the Alubihid Laguindingan Airport in Cagayan de Oro City. So we also have satellite campuses, and this is our estimated population for this 2021. Since it is a government, that's why I would like to share this to you, because I noticed there are attendees coming from the government agencies on how we tackle and how we survive. We still operate and improve our operations while we are also affected by this pandemic. Okay. So last quarter of 2019, we have a new administration, and I am part of it. From being the director of innovations, I was appointed in the administration to help streamline the operations and to fast track automations in our operations. So we started this by having our own information system strategic plan. This is our plan we crafted way back at 2020 after our new administration. So, of course, this plan is anchored in the IGO plan, the e-government master plan of the country, because we are a government agency. Okay, why I'm saying this, because unlike in the private, once the management has decided, they can immediately purchase, they can immediately implement the plan. But for the government agencies, it's not. Okay, our budget will be in a one-year basis. The budget for 2022 will be approved by third quarter, fourth quarter of this year. So that's it. And if it's not located in the plan, it cannot be implemented. And how we react to the pandemic. The pandemic, the onset of pandemic that was March 16 of 2020. No, March, of course, a lot of innovations are not included in our plan. But because of this information system strategic plan, we already planned it ahead of time. although we don't know the pandemic will come, but we're able to um, of course, somehow being ready for whatever happens. Okay, so our plan should be compliant with the ease of doing business. That is Republic Act 11032. That is otherwise known as the Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Service Delivery Act of 2018. So this law measures how the government agency deliver the services to our clientele, to our students, to our faculty, and to our external clients. Okay, so we should be compliant to the ease of doing business, as mentioned, and we thought of doing that through ICT innovations because we believe that ICT innovation is an engine of growth. So way back on the onset of the pandemic, on the onset of pandemic, that was March 16. How can we implement? Because we are a government agency, we don't have so much as resources, unlike other wealthy private institutions that they can implement right away their plans. So how a government agency or an SUC or state university and colleges perform even during the pandemic? Okay, so right away after the pandemic, we accelerated our plans. A while ago, I discussed that we have a plan for the next 2020 to 2024. But because of this pandemic, we accelerated our plan. Instead of doing that by 2021, 2022, or 2023, we accelerated the implementation of the plans. So in just few months, we set and we created a group of team, what we call the digital transformation team. So this was the creation of this office, the Digital Transformation Office. So I headed this one. So we created more than 50% of this team are young faculty in IT and engineering, and the rest are our contracted employees to help us set up and continue to operate even during the pandemic. Okay, so that was June. It was approved by the board of the USTP, and July we were able to establish our DTO. The DTO is the Digital Transformation Office, responsible for implementing, creating projects, developing, and implementing the information systems in the university. So we don't have so much. We only rely on our budget from the government, and of course from our income, so that we can improve and we can develop. Okay, so to implement this is our plan to have an integrated information system. Okay, so we have this from the online admission to graduation, online payments, gradebook, clearance, evaluation, medical dental consultation, learning management system, financial, e-budget, planning, procurement, HRIS, health management, document tracking, and research innovation management system. This is what we plan really to do for even without the pandemic. But because of the pandemic, we were able to accelerate the implementation of this mix of procurement, mix of in-house development. So the onset of the pandemic, that was March, we were able to implement a lot of projects. Particularly, we implemented our pure web-based online online admission examination. We also implemented online enrollment. We implemented our new platform, a lot of platform. We created this USTP flexible learning support because a lot of our students don't have internet connectivity, they don't have gadget. How can we implement the integrated information systems for academics? So we need to provide them, we need to help them. So we operate in a bayanihan spirit. No, we identify students who are very able, but of course they don't have much resources. So we're able to help them. We were able to locate them, and so that our systems will be implemented and they will also benefit. So we have a lot of services that we develop and implemented. one challenge is this one, our own learning management system. We don't have that much or much resources to subscribe for Microsoft Teams, to subscribe for other learning management platform, Blackboard, Edmodo, and whatsoever. So what we did is we implemented our own. We designed it in our own based on the Moodle platform. So and we called it USTEP. That is the University of Science and Technology e-learning portal, and incorporated some technologies like H5P. We have Big Blue Button in it, so that the online and video for synchronous mode of delivery, the video conferencing platform is already embedded in the system. So I'd like to ask Sir Rome to play the video, a 2-minute video on what.
USTEP, University of Science and Technology e-learning portal, is an online learning management system that supports the flexible learning program of the university. With salient features. Course management. Teachers can organize their course structure and format along with their forms of activities, resources, assessments, and forums. Accessibility. Teachers and students can make files and other learning materials readily accessible to everyone in the system. Tool variety. The system has a wide variety of educational tools that can be integrated in the lessons, such as videos, images, and files. There are also integration capabilities to link URL and other applications, such as Google, Microsoft, YouTube, to aid the teaching and learning process. It also has a variety of collaborative tools and activities, an all-in-one calendar, and reminder features so teachers and students don't miss any deadline and important events. Live engagement. The system has a built-in chat functionality. There are also add-ins for most of the major synchronous learning tools that can be integrated to maximize the learning opportunities. Mobility. The platform itself is both web and mobile-based application ready and can be accessed anytime and anywhere.
Okay, and another integration for our flexible learning program. Again, what is FLP? That's a flexible learning program. We cannot implement an online learning that is pure synchronous because a lot of our students, we have around 15,000 students, and majority of our students, they don't have this much resources for connectivity and gadget, although we're already helping them, providing them the resources, the gadget and the load for data. However, they need to budget it. So that is why we call it flexible learning program, because it's a mix of synchronous and asynchronous mode of delivery of instruction. And this step, we're able to also help other agencies for their learning management system because it's free. We just created them and customize it to the needs of the agency, like us. So we have a lot of things also integrated, like other content management. Example for this one is the Amatrol for our engineering and technology courses, and a lot of resources also integrated. Now, that's for the e-academics. I did not mention a lot, but just an example is the USTEP on how we were able to do that. Although we're using already USTEP for the past 16 years. However, because we are a government agency, people are not used to have that. It's only voluntary. It's only the IT department, engineering department are using it, and few of the faculty are using in the other colleges. But due to pandemic, they don't have a choice because there's a mandate, there's a policy, there's a memorandum that everybody needs to utilize that one and use it. And that's it's almost 2 years that we're compulsory. We are requiring all faculty and students to use it. So for the e-governance, because we are a government agency, we need to comply with our ease of doing business to our clientele. We were able, during this pandemic, we're able to outright implemented our integrated human resource information system for our timekeeping, for our HR management, and for our payroll system. We also continue our accreditation system. We created our accreditation online management system. Um, these are all in-house development. We also have our healthcare information management system. That is to ensure everyone's health and safety. I'll be talking about this healthcare. This is my pet project. I want to discuss this. This is close to my heart because this is serving our students and our faculty who are affected by this pandemic. Although we also have this Cyrus, our online procurement management and supply and asset management system. But I'll be discussing more on the HIMS or HIMS. Okay, so we also integrated these systems like devices installed in the campus, the face recognition, and integrate the data to HRIS for the timekeeping. And while the data for the temperature will be integrated in the healthcare information management system. So we collected a lot of data, no? Every time people are coming in to the university, we log the time, and we also log the temperature, as well as determine if the visitor or the employee are not wearing face masks. Okay. So example of our project is the healthcare information management. We're able to provide the LMS. We're able to provide the delivery of instruction from online admission to enrollment. We're able to provide that one. However, how can we provide the medical and health services to our students if they are not, if we don't have face-to-face classes? They are located somewhere in the nearby provinces, and they're scattered in Region 10. How can we able to provide these services to our health services to our students? We were able to create this project now. This is the healthcare information management system. This is an online health information system that we're able to do online consulting. And I would like to ask Sir Jerome for a short video for this. Okay, thank you for that, Sir Jerome. So we have Aside from the module for nurses and physicians, we also have module for our students and a COVID-19 module that we incorporated for those individuals, the students and employees affected by this COVID-19. So this is for our internal requirements for our legal, for those who are forced to quarantine. Okay, may they still have, of course, salary for that. So we have to have our documents ready through this system also. And we also, this system also, HIMSS also issues documents after the consultation, medical certificate, laboratory request, and imaging request. So all our campuses is covered with this project, HIMSS. Before, we have a lot of campuses, they're very small campus, they don't have nurses, they don't have physicians. With this project, we're able to cover them. Okay, so this is the teleconsultation that we had with our project HIMSS. And this is close to my heart because I'm the one who is managing this, or this is I'm the program and project leader for this project. Okay, we operated in the Bayanan spirit for the IT innovations that we have, not only for for the purpose of USTP, but we're also helping others who also needs that one. So we're talking with other institutions, government institutions, for them to implement this one, and we're helping them to implement this also. So through collaboration, collaborate with other government agencies, other sectors, we're able to implement other projects. So we have external projects. Example is the PRC contact tracing. They contacted us and we help them in implementing the medical board examination for medical students, for physicians. So we're able to provide them the help through IT innovations. We also have this external project we call the passenger manifest. So before we open our doors, this is our university gymnasium. So we open our doors to our LSI and ROF, returning overseas Filipinos in Cagayan de Oro by vessel, passenger vessel, or the ships. So we have a lot of passengers, around 500 per day, coming in the northern Mindanao, because Cagayan de Oro is the hub for northern Mindanao. So we're helping them. We open our doors as the temporary shelter for them, the holding areas. However, we're able to find solutions that we don't need anymore these holding areas by implementing this project. Okay, so what is PEMS, or Passenger E-Manifest System? So this project aims to eliminate the manual manifesting of passengers, because they are required. No, the ships cannot proceed with the travel without this manifest, or passenger manifest. So with the help of my faculty, we were able to provide them, and we have a resolution from Region Team IETF to support this project to be implemented nationwide. And we're happy that Marina Advisory, they already required passenger ships to use this one, and we are now implementing. Hopefully, after a few months of implementation, maybe we can implement this nationwide based on our memorandum of agreement of with the USTP and Maritime Industry Authority. Okay, so way forward, we want to be a smarter university. We cannot just do that because we have a very meager and very small resources. Okay, we are a government university. All our undergraduate students are free from tuition and other fees, school fees. So they're all scholars. They're all scholars. So with as discussed by Engineer Julius, a shift, we need a 360 degrees shift, no, because of this pandemic. We implemented right away. We created a team and implemented this project. So we are hoping that we, USTP, will be the catalyst and role model of good governance among government agencies, because we cannot just implement the project with very meager or very small resources, as well as we are, of course, complying with the procurement law and other laws. And we want to be effective and efficient in our administration. So that is why we are also providing solutions. So we want to help other government agencies, and that's what we are doing right now. I think I have one last video, sir. Okay, thank you for that. So we are operating in the Bayanihan spirit, and that is why we collaborated with other government agencies and private schools and universities. We work hand in hand. We don't need to reinvent the wheel because, of course, the technologies are already there, and we want to collaborate and share our resources, and other government agencies also are sharing the resources with us. So, of course, like everything else, IT is a continuously evolving, whether we are in the phase of pandemic or not. But it is more on demand during these trying times of pandemic. So there's a lot of things to explore and discover in this sector. There's a lot to reinvent. There's a lot to innovate, and one thing is for sure: IT is here to stay. I would like to thank LIBT, the London Institute of Business and Technology, for giving me an opportunity to share, to talk about how we were able to deal with pandemic. Although we are a government agencies following the bureaucracy of the government and with limited resources. Thank you, and maayong gabi sa tanan.